Right, hello, good evening. Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do some programming using Cursor this evening. The project I'm working on at the moment is a little quiz generator website. I've got it open here. So this uses an LLM to generate quizzes. So you can give it a topic, paste in some source material if you want, and an LLM will make you a quiz. And you can play the quiz online. Very good. When you go to play a quiz, you can choose to have multiple players, and then you can set names. But you have to play locally. There's no way to share a link to the game and play across different machines. So that's the plan. I'm going to try to get Cursor to do that for me. And mainly, this is just showing how I use Cursor. So we've got a fresh context here, so it doesn't currently know anything about the code base. So I'm going to tell it, hi. I have a multiplayer mode on the quiz website that works over WebSockets. So one player can start a quiz. That one gives them a URL to their lobby, share with their friends. Their friends then visit the URL. The first player starts a quiz and gives their name. The friends then visit the URL and give their name and enter the lobby. Everyone can see who is in the lobby. The first person can eventually start the quiz. Then nobody else can join the lobby. And we go through the quiz in sync, one question at a time. Have you seen Jackbox games? That's kind of the thing I'm going for. Okay, so we'd have question 1 show up on everyone's screen. They get the options basically the same as they do at the moment. Once they submit their answer, it then goes to an intermediate screen where it shows who has answered so far. Maybe list everyone's name. Show an icon with either a tick or an hourglass and 60-second. As soon as the first person, forget that for now. Once they've all answered, it moves on to the next question. Does that make sense? Is there anything else you need? Do you think WebSockets is the best way? Maybe we don't even need WebSockets. Actually, I don't want to use WebSockets for this. I want to just have the HTML page refresh itself until it's ready to move on to the next quiz. So we're going to say it works remotely across multiple computers, one person per computer. So one player can start a quiz and give their name, give some URL to the lobby, friends visit URL, give their name into the lobby, everyone can see who is in the lobby. Okay, and this works by the lobby page refreshing itself, similarly to how the generating page works currently, which I haven't showed you, but the machine should be able to find it. First person can eventually start the quiz, then nobody else can join the lobby. We go through the quiz in sync, one question at a time. Have you seen the Jackbox games? So we'd have question 1 show up, they get the options, then goes to intermediate screen, list everyone's name, show an icon, show them in the order they answered it. And whatever, we can come to that later. Once they've all answered, moves on to the next question. This screen should also refresh itself. What is it? 1 second? 2 seconds? I don't know, you decide. No WebSockets are working. Does that make sense? Okay, great. Let's see what it can come up with. Jackbox style multiplayer quiz experience, yes. In fact, while that's thinking, I'm going to prepare 2 browser windows so that I can see them at the same time. Great. Okie dokie. To cursor. So what did it do there? It said what it wanted to do. It looked in the directory, looked at the template files, read some Go code. Quizgenerator.co it shouldn't have needed to look at. It should have found the... Okay, so actually I don't like what's going on here, so I'm going to stop it and I'm going to reject everything it's done, because I don't want you to store game state in the database. I want you to store it in memory in the web server program. Why are you writing a main.go? So let's give it please, there is a web server in here, isn't there? Command web server main.go. Okay, so at main.go, command web server in this one. Feel free to add a second .go file for the multi-device, multiplayer mode. Thanks. I don't like, just putting it in here. Why is it giving us JSON? Well, that implies that it's going to try to make some sort of JSON API, which we don't want because we're going Web 1.0. Well, let's see what it does. Okay, it's making a new file, multiplayer.go. Don't like the look of this. Okay, let's have a look. Potentially fine. Let's just accept that. Yeah, so this has the issue that we don't like using timestamps as a source of random numbers. So I will get it to revise that, but I'll accept for now. Templates, fine. 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 Cool. More templates. Update the homepage to include a link to create multiplayer sessions. Very good. Well done, cursor. Yep, looks fine. Okay. Whatever. No. Okay, so it's asking you to select your name. That is not what we want. It should know your name from your session. Don't know. If you're all answered, get your results again. Okay. No, don't run that. I feel like let's try out what it's given us. Okay, cool. Let's do imaginary worlds in literature. Multiplayer. My name is Left Hand. Share this link. Lol. Okay, so that is not a link, but do I need to go join? Oh, just that. Okay. Enter your name. Right hand. Join session. Okay, cool. Left hand and right hand. Right hand can choose to start the game. I don't know if I want that exactly, but let's try it. And then left hand should have automatically jumped to question 1, but he hasn't. So 1. Don't use timestamps as a source of random numbers. 2. When you're on the lobby and the page reloads that the game has already started, redirect to the first question instead of giving a blank lobby page. What else didn't we like? Oh yeah, I feel like on the question page you shouldn't have to choose your name. On the question page you shouldn't have to choose your name. It should be stored in the session. What are we looking at in here? Oh yes. Okay, I was just typing out. By the way, in case you didn't know, the scroll bar here, light green I guess is uncommitted changes, and the bright green is unaccepted changes from the machine, so you can just look for the light green bits to know what you still need to accept. So it's important crypto round, which is good. It's doing a random byte modulo the length of the char set to find a random one of those. Fine, that's good enough for me. I think maybe not good enough for cryptographers, but it is good enough for me. Now, store host info. What does host info mean? I guess because you are the host at that point. Player info. Host info. Good, yeah, that makes sense. If the game has started, redirect to the first question. Good. Okay, fine. Get the player info from the session, and presumably we're going to pass that into the template. Yes, we are. Great. Accept. And the template takes it from the parameters. Let's try again. Superfluous response.write header. If that comes back, I'll check again. So yeah, the URLs are bad as well. Imaginary worlds. Left hand. Create session. Oh, so the link, when you click copy, it does copy the right link. It just doesn't show the full link. Enter your name. I'm right hand. Join session. It appears there. Start game. Great. They've both gone to question 1. They're both saying right hand's answer, which is not what we want. Template error. Interesting. Player waiting. Line 16. What was the issue? .id expected int got string. Oh wow. Just paste that to the... Okay, let's look at that one as well. Multiplayer.go line 559. Superfluous response.write header call. Is that because it's already written a header when it tries to do that error? Oh yeah, of course it has, because it's writing it into the middle of the page. Okay, whatever, ignore that then. So let's just give it that. And also, I think it is not always... Oh, I know what the session problem is. It's because I opened both tabs in the same browser. I wonder what I could do about that. Well, let's see if Cursor can think of anything. But what else could you do with Web 1.0, of course? Maybe we have to put the player ID in the URL. I don't really want the player ID in the URL because, firstly, you're probably going to write a bug which lets other players answer questions under your name, and secondly, it looks ugly. What we could maybe do is, when you join the quiz, you join with the lobby ID, and then you get assigned a private ID, and it's the private ID that's in your URL. And the private ID ties you to the quiz session and also your player ID. But we'll just try and make the thing work first, and then we'll make it better. Store host info in the URL. Fine, whatever. Accept. Oh, looks good to me. Doesn't seem necessary, but okay. You've got that for free if you just did nothing. I'll let it have it, but it seems unnecessary. Okay, let's try again. Multiplayer mode. Imaginary worlds. Create session. Copy. I don't really want that. I'll fix that at some point. Right hand appears. Start game. Left hand answer. Right hand answer. Great success. So, which of the following authors created the fictional world known as Middle-earth? I think that was C.S. Lewis. And I think that was J.R.R. Tolkien. So here we're waiting, although it still says template error, so probably this isn't going to work. So let's submit answer. Oh, it's gone to question 2 for him, because he was the only one waiting, but this one is stuck. But if I refresh the page... Oh, it's gone to question 2. Maybe instead of having different URLs for each stage of the quiz, I would want to simply refresh the page and get whatever is the current state. That feels like it's likely to be more robust. When you copy the link, then do the alert. So copy. 2. Don't use a different URL for each stage of the quiz. Once you join the lobby, just do it at /multiplayer/ID, and then whenever you reload that page, reside the state based on the in-memory state of the quiz and the query params. More robust that way. Reside the page to show. Hopefully reduce some code duplication as well. And should we look at the template error? Same one, isn't it? Great, this looks good. Delete lots of code, thank you. Unified session page. Need to watch out for it leaving unused functions behind. Also, we don't really need the player name in the URL, do we? The player name is part of the state of the quiz in the server. But we want to get rid of the player ID from the URL and have a private token. So I'll just leave it for now. Yeah, so that function I think is now unused. So Cursor does this quite a lot. If you ask it to change things, it doesn't delete functions that become unused. But I will delete them once we get it working. Yes, no alert, good. Okay, maybe it's trying to fix that. Pass form. Why does it change that? Oh, no, it's removing the old handler functions. Good. Right, whatever, accept. You're going to try and launch the web server again? you want to join some more? Remove some more. Good thinking. Do the templates all need to link to somewhere else now? Question submits to /answer. Is that what we want? Yeah. No, don't run it for me. I will run it. Multiplayer mode. Imaginary worlds. Left hand. Copy, paste. Right hand, join. Good. Start. 404 not found. Brilliant. Because it goes to start. It posts to start. Is that right? Probably. Unless. Okay, fine. I think there might be more that we're still missing. Great. C.S. Lewis. Yeah, good. So left hand is answered, right hand is thinking. J.R.R. Tolkien. Hey, on to question 2. Okay, and then this time let's submit this one first. So I wanted it to put them in order of who submitted first, but I actually changed my mind on telling it that, didn't I? I feel like even if you're the last person to submit, you should still get to see the screen showing who's submitted. That could come later. A theme in the Chronicles of Narnia, I think it's bravery and sacrifice. Hogwarts. Diagon Alley. Well, whatever. Okay, great. We got to the end of the quiz and it told us the results. It didn't manage to tell us something here because of a template error, so let's just fix that and commit this, and then we can work on improving it. So let's tell it, great job, thank you, really good progress. One more error in the results page. Options is a JSON string, not a parsed array. Okay. Fine. I will unused parameter R. We meant to do pattern underscore or something. Okay, great. And what about down here? Same thing. What does that mean? What does the oh, okay, just showing other instances of the same word. I don't normally look at this thing this much, but I feel like I talked about it earlier, so it's making me look at it. I'll accept that on trust. And how are we looking? I want to add multiplayer, templates, multiplayer star, templates join session, templates new multiplayer. Great. Add what we call it, multi-device multiplayer mode. Cool, great success. Now, what didn't we like about it? Okay, next thing. I want it so that you have one ID for the lobby, which you join, and then it generates you a private player token, and from then onwards you are accessing URLs with your private player token instead of with the lobby ID. That way we can track which player you are without putting it in query params, and other people can't steal your player ID. So obviously store the mapping of player IDs to names in the lobby state, session state, in the quiz session state. Also, if you're the last person to answer, you should still see the list of answered people page. Does that make sense? So don't move on to the next question until 2 seconds after the last person has answered. Please. Great idea. Thanks, Cursor. Much more secure and user-friendly. Also, we should make the tokens longer, potentially. They seem kind of dangerously short. Player tokens. Player token 2. Okay. Okay, I feel like we don't actually need the player ID anymore, but I'll let it have it. Multiplayer goes to session ID. Yeah. What's it trying to do? So if len parts is 1, but down here len parts is 1, and they both begin multiplayer, I feel like this is not very well conceived. I see it keeps rewriting it. Is it going to fix it on its own? What it should probably do, well, maybe it should have a different word from multiplayer based on whether it's a session ID or a player token, or else it should look up the ID and decide whether it's a session ID or a player token. I'll leave it for now, but I don't think that's going to work. Player token, that's not necessary, is it? We'll take it from the URL rather than from the form. I might start. Okay, well, I'll accept it for now. Yeah, I thought so too. That's what I was just looking at. 2-second delay. Did it do that? That's not how I imagined doing it. I suppose it would work. I thought we were just going to put expiry time in the session. But that is fine. Okay, now, what was it? One of these templates was passing player token as their hidden field. Oh, it's because it's the start game thing. Let's just do it the old-fashioned way. I don't think we need it for start. Why do you need to know which player has started the game? Player does not belong to this session. Okay, fine. You can have it. Oh yes, that's the thing where you don't get undo history. Gonna put the player token hidden field back in multiplayer lobby.html, please, thank you. Good. Okay, let's try it, see what we think. Multiplayer, let's go. UK driving theory test. Session not found. Great stuff. Why would that be? So that's new multiplayer. Create session, posts to multiplayer, new. Can I find it faster than Claude can? No, I don't think so. It already has a fix. Or it thinks it has a fix. Okay, well, let's see. Why are you putting the logging in? That makes me think you actually don't think you got it right. Oh, it's the routing thing, of course. Where was that? So, should we accept this? Yeah. It's because in handle multiplayer, line 33, you check if blend parts equals 1, but blend parts also equals 1 for player tokens. So you need to either pick a different URL format or else look up the token and see if it is a session ID or player token. Yeah, I'm absolutely right. It kind of already thought of that by checking that length of part 0 equals 12, but it's /multiplayer in either case. Yep, good. Happy with that. Let's try again. Multiplayer. Life and Times of Brian Kernighan. Link copy to clipboard. I thought we got rid of that. Or was that me when I was undoing stuff? One of us. right hand, both in the game, start game. Bell Labs. Now, on this one, we're expecting that when the right-hand player submits the answer, they both get to look at the completed screen for 2 seconds. Yay! Brian Kernighan was co-author of Orc. Which book did Brian Kernighan co-author with Rob Pike? I actually don't know. Yeah, I don't know this one either. I've been through this quiz already, but I wasn't clever enough to look up the answers before I did it on video. Alright, let's go to the end. Yeah, definitely Windows. And we're hoping that we'll see everything on the results screen this time. Yay! Oh, it's only got one question. Template error. Okay, we got a bit further on the results screen. No. Also, we need to get rid of all this spam in the log. Oh, what's it changed here? Oh, it did the link thing I saw. Thank you. Well, let's actually commit some of this. Sorry, what? The index function is being called with answers, which is a map, and then with player ID, which is a string. But the template expects an int, yes. The answers map is map int, map string int, but the template is trying to use player ID as an index. Isn't player answer 0 option A? Well, let's see. Ugh, that's annoying. These are functions that it's providing for use inside the template. I kind of think better style is to compute stuff outside the template and just pass strings into the template. I'll let it do what it wants to do. '2000s pop music. Copy, paste, right hand. In fact, we'll have to do a game with more than 2 players at some point. Who collaborated with Nelly on the song Dilemma? Who knows? Which group performed the early 2000s anthem Bye Bye Bye? It's the Backstreet Boys. Actually, I should make a shorter quiz so I don't have to click so many buttons to get to the results page. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? We still want it to give the players in the order that they answer. Okay. Kelly Rowland, correct. Kelly Rowland featured in the 2002 hit Dilemma. NSYNC, correct. Oh, I thought it was Backstreet Boys. Question 9. Why does it only go up to question 9? Oh, for God's sake. Be good results for the first 9 questions. Well, I think off by 1. And then we can, thinking, we'll make a quiz with only 1 question. What should the question be? What is so great about Cursor? Yeah, programming tool. Let's put that in brackets. Source material. Start quiz. Generating question 1. Oh, were there only 9 questions? That is possible. How does Cursor AI enhance the coding process? AI-driven suggestions improve code quality. Correct. It is possible that... No, 2000 Pop Music has 10 questions. So what are we looking at here? More logging. Questions with options, played questions. So does it not believe me? Move to the next question. Well, I'll accept it's logging, but let's look at the results thing. Okay, well, let's see. I'm tempted to do the 2000 Pop Music question again. Let's try what's so great about Cursor though, just in case it does it on that one. Enter your name, right hand, join, start game. What was free cloud hosting? It generates documentation. Question 2. I only asked for 1 question, so that's another bug. It makes more questions than you asked for. How's that possible? The first time I did it, it only had 1 question. Oh well. Okay, so it did do answers for all 3 on that one. That says it's got 3 questions there. Is 3 the minimum, maybe? No, because I asked for 1 and it only gave me 1 the first time I played it. Let's have another chat for that. I just generate a 1 question quiz and it made 3 questions. Can you please explain? And let's go back to this one. Kind of tempted to look in the database. Okay. So num questions is 10 for the pop music one. But indeed, there are only 9 questions. Okay, no problem then. That answers that. However, okay, so let's write down the known bugs somewhere. 1. Num questions doesn't update to match the actual number of questions. The reason the number of questions could differ is if the AI keeps spinning trying to come up with new questions and never succeeds, then we eventually give up. No questions doesn't update. Oh, the other one was I asked for 1 but got 3. Was there anything else we didn't like? What has it said here? Ensure at least 3 questions are generated. I don't want that. I don't see why when we make it so 1 is the lower limit. I don't see why you shouldn't be allowed a quiz of just 1 question. So I think that is all the bugs explained. Except, okay, stop. I'll check that the other one is stopped as well. And then commit what we've got. Well, all this logging, let's get rid of that. Okay, great. And actually, did we look at the other one? How should we do that? So the issue with num questions not actually matching the number of questions. We do want to know num questions before they're all generated, because we want to know how many, we want to be able to show on the website how many there will be, even while it hasn't generated them yet. Because as you saw when I made the quiz, there's a page that tells you it's generating. But if the web server crashes while it's generating questions, or if it gives up because the AI doesn't come up with enough questions, we want num questions to be updated to be correct. So maybe when at some point when we get a quiz, oh well, I'll just let Cursor figure it out. There are various circumstances where the quizzes.num-questions field, however, doesn't actually match the number of questions in the questions table. While we are still generating questions, this is not a problem. But once the quiz is finished, actually the quiz wouldn't get marked complete if the web server crashes. Maybe we can tolerate it if the web server crashes. In that case, we simply want I don't want that to return. Whatever. Can you generate quiz stream so that if it ever stops, then it updates quizzes.num_questions to say the actual number of questions. This could either be because of context installation or because the okay, because the max questions to request is reached. Many events don't return without setting some questions correctly. I feel like I'm spending way too much time on this stupid bug that isn't even that important. See the issue. It always says I can see the issue even if it can't see the issue. Oh yeah, good spot. I hadn't thought of that. Oh no, I do want that one to be 3. That is asking the AI to generate 3 questions. It is not adding 3 questions to the database because it's not guaranteed that all 3 questions will be accepted. Next file. Okay. But is there other things that can use generate quiz stream that won't do that? No, reject. Actually, I might have just answered my own question. Should generate quiz stream. Oh no. Oh, okay, fine. Its code was actually good. Because although indeed other things use generate quiz stream, those things don't write to the database, I claim. So I think that's fine. But we need to check. So yeah, quiz generator calls it, but that is just a command line program that doesn't save to the database, so we can ignore that. Great, good. So what did we change there? Oh yeah, we got rid of all the update. And finally, let's check if it works with 3 players. Probably about that wide. Long. What do you mean tiling window managers? This is absurd. Okay, alright. Do I need to restart? Multiplayer mode. Let's go for science. Left hand. Create session, copy, paste. I'm now middle hand, and I'm right hand. Great. Which of the following processes is primarily responsible for the formation of sedimentary rocks? Left hand has answered. Left hand and right hand have answered. Now middle hand has answered as well. Great. Okay. Cool. Feels like it should rank these by order, but whatever. I've had enough for now. Got anything left? No. Great. I hope you enjoyed programming with Cursor with me. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.